My buddy Jeff sent me this photo. Right, so that's actually not the photo he sent to me. He sent me a link to a Facebook Marketplace ad of somebody selling just a variety of video game stuff in my hometown. Now, myself, Jeff, and other friends like Mike and Eric, in the eastern side of Washington, we all look out for each other. If we happen to see something like near one of their towns or anything like that, instead of like driving all the way over to pick it up, for the most part, we just let them know. I say, hey, this is in your backyard. If you're interested, I saw it. Just in case you didn't see it, here you go if you want to grab it. It's what we do. And I looked at the picture and I was like, okay, they're, top loader, great. Some random games at first glance, $300. And I thought, I mean, yeah, if I had all that stuff laying around and I didn't need it, I'd probably just put $300 on it myself and just see if it moves. And I saw for the Super Nintendo games from the photo, I recognized the Super Game Boy, I recognized Super Mario World, I recognized Eye of the Beholder of all things. But I was like, still though, I mean, $300, I don't know, with a loose game, I couldn't really tell what the loose game was. Saturn, maybe it was like a loose like Fighting Vipers or something like that. So I zoomed in on that. Right. I mean, what would you do in this situation? Yep, here they are. Here's both of them, right here, both boxes. Woo. Once I saw that, I stopped looking. I could have filmed it, and most other YouTube channels would have filmed it. Out of respect, I don't want to bother the guy. I was just happy to pick him up and everything like that. Nice guy. He knew what he had. He told me that he knew what he had. Once I met him in person. And he was just like, I just, this is the stuff I have laying around, don't need it anymore. I mean, he literally pointed out Burning Rangers and everything. And I'll show you everything. I'm gonna unbox this because I haven't even seen most of this stuff yet. I just took the boxes, came back here, and here we are. So we'll go through it together. And there's a very, 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 very special surprise that I didn't even know was included until he literally handed it to me and then said, oh, look at this. And I said, oh, well, that's neat. So let's just go through it. First and foremost, a loose Burning Rangers. Oh, it's all scratched. No, I'm just kidding. Clean! Yo, look at that nonsense. Come on now. Burning Rangers. I will let you know up front. I'm not keeping it. I will bring it to I'll bring it to a convention sometime. I don't, like this one I wouldn't do on Whatnot, because I'd be so concerned that it would break along the way, but I'll bring this to a convention. Always happy for trades. T2 for the NES. Not a great game, but, whatever. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just gonna start grabbing stuff and showing you. We have, without the manual, but 2 discs on this one. For Star Ocean for the PlayStation 2. Here's one of 2 Super Mario Brothers. Now I was kind of happy to see this. A sealed, still in box. This is a PlayStation Vita portable charger. And like I said, it's still sealed. These actually don't sell for, there's like $15 on eBay. There's somebody who has like 500 of them. So this may have been from something like that, but still kind of cool. I have a Vita, I barely use, I bought a Vita at launch, and I haven't, it's still in a box. I haven't used it much in anything. Couple of 64 games, oh, okay. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and a well-loved GoldenEye 007. I'll be doing some open cart surgery type cleaning videos here in the near future, just to make sure this stuff's all working. Oh, one of my favorite NES games. A clean Crystallis. Look at that, look at the shine, look at the sheen, come on now. This is cool, this is a VGA box for the, looks like a PlayStation 2, maybe a Dreamcast, and it has a little components and stuff like that on the side. Not as familiar. Not as familiar. Dreamcast control. Well, this is actually just, all in one. This will count as one. It's a box of controllers. So we have the Dreamcast controller, there's the Minister, and then I was super excited to see, hold on, what's this? This is the part of the VGA box. This might be the battery. Is this a battery pack for the Nomad or maybe a Game Gear? 6AA. So maybe a Game Gear or maybe a Nomad box. I don't think there's a Nomad in there. I would have known. And there's 2 Super Nintendo and 2 Saturn. This is a Genesis controller, but there's also a Saturn controller in here. And in the photo, I did see the 360 Saturn controller. This is the controller that came with Knights. When I first bought my Sega Saturn, it came with Knights and this controller. And super comfy, and this thing's removable. I have no idea why to this day, but there you go. I will never not mark out for Air Fortress. I love Air Fortress. Super Game Boy. To go along with that Minister, we have Lethal Enforcers. I do have a CRT over here too, so maybe play that a little bit. Oh, wow, I love this game. Yeah, check it out. X-Men, love it. I just realized they don't even have the title of the game on the cover. They have it right there, but it doesn't say like X-Men across the front or anything. Super Mario World, no box, but happy to have Super Mario World. Imagine if they had it in the box. And if you're not familiar, look up Super Mario World in the box. You'll know why. You probably, if you're watching this channel, maybe you already know why, but I won't assume. All right, Rygar, I'm cool with that. So here's the Eye of the Beholder. That's the one I recognized from the label from the short video, or from the short photo. Like, long distance photo. It was like I couldn't see anything. And then very happy to see this. Contra 3, one of the best Contras ever. Tengen game, what do you think? If you said Pac-Man, good enough. Yeah, it's not Tengen Tetris. That's too bad. But I'll take Pac-Man. Pac-Man's fine. Oh, okay, sure. Battle chest that someone paid $7.99 for. Now these are interesting. These are NES controllers, but they are branded with that. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Probably is that third party, but NES. It doesn't have the Nintendo logo up here, but they still feel nice. They feel very responsive. Actually, that feels better than mine. Wish it was the dog bones, but again, what are you gonna do? An official, original power thing, and that goes with the top loader. And here is the top loader along with another copy of Super Mario Brothers. This top loader is in a much better condition than mine, and I told him that too at the conversation. When we chatted for only a couple of minutes. But when I saw the top loader, and he's like, "Oh, this is a top loader NES," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I have a top loader, but mine's beat up. It's been dropped on. There's a crack, right here and everything. It still works, but I was just hoping to get an upgrade. That way I can keep this one and then trade off the other one." And he's like, "Oh, cool." And he's like, "The other thing is that it's modded. A modded top loader." It's a decent job. I don't know if he did this himself. I mean, as long as it works, which it does. And I got all this for $300. Now, my friends in the area could have kept this information to themselves and drove over and got it for themselves, but we look out for each other. I happen to have got this today, so I feel pretty lucky about that. Next time, I may look out for my buddy Jeff in in Eastern Washington, maybe Mike or Eric or anyone else, Josh as well. And we're all friends. We're all sharing. It's all sharing the love, and maybe I'll share this love with you. Probably not. I think I want to keep this. Like I said, my top loader's pretty beat up. Yeah, and if it was like dollar for dollar, price per point, whatever, fine, sure. But there are deals out there. There are still deals out there. It just takes looking. I know it's my own fault. I barely look at the Facebook Marketplace. I know other people do. But my Facebook Marketplace is more like, I have a Nintendo and 5 games for $400. I'm like, you good. Hey, trust me, if it sells, I can do a few of those packages. I should sell those. But when in doubt, just look out for each other, man. And maybe if you hook someone up with a great deal, they'll look out for you too, and it'll come back around. Karma. It's always about the karma, man.